First code we're going to look at is a little program that makes the LED fade. So step one is, how do you make an LED fade? I found this in the example files. So in Arduino we've got example files, and they're very handy when you're trying to figure out how to do something. It's very simple code, and it demonstrates how to do simple things. So if we go to I'm in File, Examples, Basics, and there's a code called Fade here that we're gonna download it. So that's what it looks like when you open it up, but I already have it opened up. And remember that this is read-only, so the examples are read-only. If you want to keep the source code, which is a good idea because you want to have your own library of source code, and I just have to hit save or save as because I've already saved it, and I'm saving it in this folder called week7. Because I've already saved it, it has a folder named fade. So remember that in Arduino you have to have the name of the file and the name of the folder have to correspond. Save that. Okay, so all right, so here's our example code. We have a variable called LED. The value of that variable is 9. That's because the LED is going to be powered by pin 9. So in an Arduino code, you declare variables here. So the type of the variable is an integer. So it's a number between doesn't have any decimal points, right? It's a whole number. So we have 3 variables. LED is number 9 because the LED is going to be powered from pin 9. Brightness is 0 and fade amount is 5. And we're going to increment using 5 as the number to increment. And then, of course, in Arduino we have it's structured with a setup method. Okay, so everything you set up is basically all the resources you need in the program are set up here. And then loop is where you run the program. Okay, hang on a second here. Okay, so the loop is, it runs the program and it loops through 60 times a second. It executes code. So loop is cycling through the code. So any code that we write in here, it's going to be executed in real time. So the first method we're going to use here is called analog write. So this idea of writing or reading, writing means it's going to output something, and it's going to take LED pin 9, and it's going to output a number called brightness, which is 0. So that means that the LED is going to be set to 0. There's going to be no light on. We're going to take the variable called brightness, which is at 0, and then we're going to add fade amount to it. So fade amount is 5. So now we're going to have 5 and then 10, 15. It's incrementing. The brightness of the LED, the maximum number it'll take is 255, and the minimum number is 0. So if we have a loop and we keep adding 5 to it, we have to stop at 255, and then when it fades down, you have to stop at 0. So basically, when it gets to 0, you want to go back up to 255. So this is going between 0 and 255 continuously. So our LED is going to fade on, fade off. And to make that happen, you just say fade amount equals minus fade amount. Okay, so if you're at 0, it's going to start going back up. Okay, if you're at 255, it's going to be fading down. And you're going to find that a lot of these programs, they run super fast, and so we want to delay it a bit, because otherwise it would run so fast you might not even see it. So we delay it by 30 milliseconds, 1/3 of a second.